the Chinese population is going down, and is going down fast. Right now, it's a second biggest country in the world by population, right before after India, and India just got on the first place a few years ago. Now, what I want to say very quickly here, the Chinese population started to decline exactly after the pandemic. Look at this, 2022, especially for those numbers that they say, it just immediately got down for the first time, and now they're going down fast. I mean, look at this. Imagine any other country in the Western world that's gonna lose more than 1.2 million people in a year. Now it's 2.5, 3.2, 3.2 again, and this is just for the 2025. In the future, 2030, 3.5, 4.9, 6.1, 7.3, 9.1 million. They're losing pretty much entire countries, especially that if you go in Europe, there are countries that are smaller than how many people China loses in 2050. And look at this, the city of them. They are one of those biggest cities by the population, 22 million, 80 million. There is no other city, no other country in the world that can have like 70 cities, and 70 cities has like 1.7 population, pretty much the smallest, let's say, in this list, which is insane. The life expectancy, I think, even for Chinese, goes up and up. For both sexes, is 72 years, 78 years. Female 81 and male 75, and they're trending up. I mean, it just doesn't stop like that. And now I want to look at migration, and Chinese migration is pretty much on minus all time. Every year I look here, it's every single one of them, it's on minus. So they don't have the population that just move around with migrants. They're losing on all fronts. And in the future, they don't lose that much by migration. It's just an old age country that's losing the native population much faster than they can replace it. And the fertility rate is 1.06 in 2030, and then 2025 is 1.02. So they're trending a bit upwards, but still it's way too late. Because look at this median age, it's 40 years right now, but in 2050 it's going to be 52, so 12 years more than it is today. So the population is going older, the fertility rate, it kind of go a bit upwards, but not by much. The migration is still on minus as always, and the main population losing people much faster. And those are the data. I think they I don't know if they declared that well, because even often this website, some other people say they actually, around the world, not just in China, the population is going down much faster than they reported. So I tend to believe that. But especially for China, they used to be a #1 country by population for a long time, and exactly after the pandemic ended, let's say in 2022, they lose that place, and now it's just on a downtrend pretty much for the rest of the century. I don't think they're gonna go up anytime soon, especially not this century. So it's not that bad, actually. Like I always say, having less people in the country is gonna mean less cars on the road, less people in the stores, less people traveling. If you like to travel, I know, going to some let's say countryside, you don't want to see a lot of people there taking photos and just clog the roads, let's say. And so it's not that bad, actually. But China, I think, is the first country in the world that's losing that much population that fast. I mean, they're gonna be pretty much at minus 1% per year in 2055 by this data. But again, I don't think even those data that exactly. They might lose 1% today, not in 2055. So that's really bad, and that's why I say China is a much worse position than US, and probably who knows, maybe gonna look at India later. But the Chinese, they're going for the first place. They're going down very fast. So yeah, that was the video, and check out the video by the US to see that comparison, see how much difference are between those two countries.